Picture this. You're at a family gathering. The dessert table looks like a sugar wonderland. And there you are with your sad, lonely apple slice. Let's face it, as someone managing diabetes, dessert is a whole different game. But good news, I've got some sweet hacks for you that will actually make you look forward to dessert, not fear it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Diabetes Essentials, where we make managing diabetes feel a whole lot easier and a little bit sweeter. Today, we're diving into diabetic-friendly desserts for the 50-plus crowd. Why? Because life after 50 doesn't mean giving up on treats. In fact, it's about finding smart, tasty ways to enjoy them without the sugar spike. I know firsthand how challenging it can be to navigate the dessert aisle or holiday feasts when you're keeping your blood sugar in check. So today, I'm sharing my best tips and tricks for guilt-free, diabetic-friendly desserts. We're talking about delicious, easy-to-make options that will let you indulge without the worry. And if you're still skeptical, stick around, because I'll even throw in some funny stories that prove I've been there and made those mistakes myself. Alright, let's outline our plan. First, we'll go over the types of natural sweeteners that won't mess with your blood sugar. Then, we'll dive into dessert ideas like Greek yogurt parfaits, nut butter dips, and even diabetic-friendly chocolate treats. And yes, they actually taste good. We'll also cover how to make old-school favorites like fruit crisps and puddings diabetes-friendly, and finish up with my personal go-to for when I have a sweet craving in the middle of the night. So let's kick things off with natural sweeteners. Now listen, the 80s were great, but it's time to move past saccharin packets. We're talking stevia, monk fruit, and erythritol here. They sweeten without the sugar spike. And I know, when I first heard monk fruit, I thought it was some health guru gimmick too, but it works and it's naturally sweet. There's a learning curve, but once you taste your first homemade dessert with monk fruit, you'll see why it's worth the switch. Now for dessert ideas. Let's start with something simple, Greek yogurt parfaits. Just mix in your monk fruit, add some fresh berries, and you're good to go. It's like a dessert sundae, minus the guilt. I once tried this with my grandkids, and they didn't even realize it wasn't ice cream. Sneaky, but hey, you gotta get creative with this stuff, right? Next up, let's talk about nut butter dips. Just a spoonful of almond butter with a few slices of apple or pear. It's like those caramel apple treats we used to get as kids, but without the sugar overload. I remember trying this at a potluck, and someone actually said, "This tastes healthy, but in a good way." That's about as high as the praise goes in my family, so I'll take it. Alright, here's one for the chocolate lovers out there. Ever heard of dark chocolate with nuts? It's got the richness, the bite, and best of all, a small square won't mess up your numbers. Pro tip, go for 70% cocoa or higher. Anything less, and we're practically back in candy bar territory, so let's not kid ourselves. Okay, now let's tackle those classic fruit crisps. You can make a diabetic-friendly version by swapping out sugar for, you guessed it, monk fruit or a little honey. And instead of loads of flour, use a bit of oat flour or almond flour for the crumble. A little cinnamon, a little vanilla, and boom, you've got a warm, satisfying dessert without the carb overload. I once served this to my brother-in-law, who's got the biggest sweet tooth, and he didn't even ask if it was sugar-free. Mission accomplished. Alright, now let's get to the big one, late-night cravings. Here's my secret weapon, frozen grapes or a small handful of dark chocolate chips with nuts. Simple, satisfying, and it won't keep you up worrying about blood sugar. Here's the takeaway. You don't have to deprive yourself to stay healthy. A little planning, a few smart swaps, and you're right back in the dessert game. No sad apple slices in sight. So, if you're feeling inspired to try these out, go ahead and comment below with the dessert idea you're most excited to try. If you would like a recipe for any of the fun desserts mentioned in this video, please comment with the recipe name in the comments below. And if you have your own tips or diabetic dessert hacks, we want to hear those too. Before you go, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Next time, we'll dive into snacks you can feel good about munching on. See you soon.